So I wanted to make a quick video about this this old square body. Now, up until the point that I bought those last two auction ones, this was the rustiest one I had like seen in person. It was like the hood's rotted out there, and the bed apparently rotted out some time ago, and they just plated it. The fender's got some rot for sure, but that's not uncommon. Trying to think. I don't think the cab itself actually isn't bad though. I definitely have worse ones, but anyhow, I bought this one many years ago at an auction. It was from an estate. They were auctioning it in a kind of local auction, consignment auction type thing. And I think got it with the title. I think I paid, I don't know, $500–600 for it. You know, nothing too serious. And I have for a long time used it around the shop off and on, between all the random problems I've had with it. When I got it, it would only kind of move in reverse, and went and got another Turbo 400 and the wrench report, which, now granted, I am the last person to have automatics, but it just was one of those things. I mean, the motor was probably worth $500–600 because it is a big block 454. So, couldn't help myself. And it was really neat, and I'd never seen another one like this before. And I'll show you why. But I'm sure other people have, but I haven't. Anyway, it's, for some reason, somebody had just like painted over the whole thing with this crappy black paint job. Like, I don't know if it was flat black or gloss or what, but they just like, I don't know if they like spray painted the whole thing or what they did, but, and I don't know, it may, I can't, honestly can't tell if it was all the same color or not, but originally, as you can kind of see, it was blue. If you look back here on the bed, you can see it was blue and white. Typical, you know, 70s square. But I didn't mention this one's a 78 GMC Sierra Classic C35. And it's not in the best shape, like I was saying, with the rust and stuff, but and it's been sitting for a while because I thought the starter was out. And long story short, I had bought a starter probably a year ago and never changed it, and I finally today had a slot in the shop and nothing particularly better to work on that was too pressing, so we just pulled it in here, and I got under there to take the starter off, going to find out the starter was just loose, so I tightened it up and it's working fine. Got it on a button. But yeah, like I was saying, I used this as a shop truck for just a long time. It's nothing special, but since it's been sitting up outside, unfortunately, these wing vents are busted at the bottom. The pivot's busted. I don't know why. I guess they seized up and just snapped off, and so there's been animals, you know, a little bit of rain and stuff in here, and I was over there looking at it today, and I hated that, and it bothers me because the thing is neat no matter how rough it may be. One thing I always thought was really cool was, you notice this bezel really has nothing on it. It looks like it had almost a glue, and that's because, and I have these saved somewhere, there's actually wood pieces that screw on with it, like actual wood. Now, if you think of like a Silverado from this era, like my I have a 75 crew cab, it has fake wood. So I don't know if that was like an aftermarket thing, or if these GMCs actually just came with wood on the bezel, but I thought that was really neat, and I have that put up in the shop somewhere, and I'm glad I do. But one of the interesting things about this was it has a sunroof, and I'm sure it's aftermarket and all that, but I always just thought that was neat and weird to have on a square body. But it interests me, I guess, because compared to a lot of my other ones are custom deluxe, and they don't have nearly as fancy as this one would have had. And even my Silverado is not nearly as fancy as this. I mean, you know, full door panels, carpet, full carpet, and I guess the sunroof was aftermarket. It had a headliner. I guess that could have been aftermarket too, but I don't guess it was. The wood grain and all that. Kick panel speakers. And this one, they even put some kind of EQ in it. And an aftermarket radio. And it looks like their CB was up here. I don't know where that cable goes, if anywhere anymore. But anyway, it's just always kind of been interesting to me. Oh, and it did have, and I have what's left of the seat, but it's in really bad shape. It had like sort of a, kind of like, it was a bench, but it had buckets in it, and it had a center console. I mean, one of the coolest square body seats I've seen, for sure. But anyway, it's a mess. I mean, it's one of those things I would definitely love to frame off this truck, just because to me, it doesn't seem like you see too many square bodies in a GMC, at least down here, and you sure don't see them in a dually. But anyhow, one thing I did want to point out, really the reason I made this video, was you can see how this fender this fender looks. And I have been working on this side, and I've managed to turn this fender blue on top again. And I've been working on the white in the center. And I started working on the cab. You see, I'm turning the cab white. So I'm bringing the colors back out. And I came across this. I've been trying to find something to spray on this thing to make this crappy paint come off for years, and I've just never come up with anything. Whatever reason, I had it in here next to the workbench, and had just half a can of oven cleaner. I just sprayed a little here and forgot about it for 15-20 minutes, and came back and I was like, that didn't do anything. Wiped it off, and lo and behold, there's the white paint. So started doing it on this fender. It's leaving a little bit here, but even that would look better than that. I've been trying to get this to come off in the center, but it's acting a little tougher. It's starting to. But I'm going to go tomorrow and pick up about a case of oven cleaner and see if I can't get that to come off. Now, I mean, it's no real loss if it hurts something, but it's just something I wanted to try, because even for a shop truck, it sure looked a lot neater with the original paint than this, that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and like I mentioned in the last video, I got Wi-Fi here now, so I'm working on a computer to get set up, and we can do some action. We can tear some motors down and rebuild some stuff, but that's coming soon. In the meantime, thanks for watching.